Hello and welcome to Donington Park for the decisive final two rounds in the 2015 Tagiwa Civic Cup. The doubleheader at Snetterton blew both the Class A and B championships wide open. In the 1.6 litre division, 3 drivers are still in with a chance of the title, while 4 could take the 2 litre class when the checkered flag falls for the final time. It's Carl Swift on pole position. He's ahead of Adam Shepherd. On the second row of the grid, it's Rodden Vella and Endaf Owens, so 3 of the 4 championship protagonists from Class B on the first 2 rows of the grid. In Class A, the fastest driver was David Bucke, ahead of Chris Coomer and Andrew Huff, with one of the main title contenders, Tim Evans, way back in 24th on the grid. Lights out then, away we go at Donington Park, and it's a good start by Carl Swift from pole position. He's ahead of his championship rival Adam Shepherd, and a good start too by Rodden Vella, the Maltese driver in the orange car, looking to make a move on the inside there at Redgate Corner for the first time. It's a big grid. We had 33 cars out in qualifying for this Tagiwa Civic Cup race. Are they all going to make it through Redgate Corner safely? It looks like they are, and it's been a very good start indeed for Carl Swift then. A bit of dust has been kicked up further back. Meanwhile, we're on board now with Stu Neal. He started the race from row 4 of the grid, turning his way through the old hairpin now, and he's behind there Mark Higginson, who still has a mathematical chance of taking the Class B title at a win at Anglesey, but he was 5th on the grid today. And that looks like was that Endaf Owens making his way through there as they turn their way through the right-hander. In fact, it might have been Steve Laidlaw, in fact, that was making up some ground as they turn their way up towards McLean's and then Coppice Corner for the first time in this race. It's a 13-minute plus 1 lap race. Already heading back down the exhibition straight for the first time is the race leader, Carl Swift. It's side by side a bit further back. That is between the number 20 car of Endaf Owens and number 89, which is Rodden Vella. Endaf Owens, the Welsh driver, still in with a very good shout of the championship title, but he really needs to get ahead of the 2 cars that are currently in front of him. Some debris has been shed at McLean's, and the intrepid marshals have gone to collect a bit of someone's bumper by the looks of it. Round the Melbourne hairpin for the first time then. Some locking up going on. Someone going pretty much straight on there at Melbourne hairpin, but now getting the car finally turned in. Meanwhile, the front runners turning their way through the Goddard hairpin now, including number 53, Will Shriver. More used to seeing him in historic racing, of course, used to racing Formula Ford 1600 as well, but he is racing in the Civic Cup this weekend as a guest, so he's not counting for points. So back up the Wheatcroft straight for the second time then. What a fantastic sight these cars make as they head now through Redgate Corner for the second time. Action all the way down the order there. We can see the number 3 car, which is that of Luca Diella, in that car that he shares with Josh Leake. Again, more dust being kicked up in the background at Redgate Corner. There's dust being kicked off here at the old hairpin as well as cars scatter. Avoiding the gravel trap crucially though. The last thing we want is a car to get stranded in the gravel trap, which would bring out the yellow flags no doubt. There's the 14 car of Andrew Gaugler. He seems to be going pretty well. He's just ahead of Stu Neal. Gaugler qualified 10th on the grid, so he's made up quite a few places. He was 7th by the end of lap 1, ahead of the number 4 car of Stu Neal, who was in 8th position as Carl Swift led Adam Shepherd, and the number 2 car of Steve Laidlaw up to 3rd position by the end of the lap. And it is the 20 car of Endaf Owens that was in 4th place. 5th was the 89 car of Rodden Vella, and 6th was 44, which was Mark Higginson. As we've got a challenge going on down the order there, that was involving Andrew Huff, one of the Class A championship contenders, along with the likes of David Bucke and Tim Evans. Those are the 3 drivers contesting Class A in this final round of the championship. You can see there Huff has Bucke right behind him. Those are absolutely nose to tail, and Tim Evans in the grey car looks to have made up some ground as well, because he had quite a poor qualifying session, so he's sort of got himself on terms with the 2 drivers that he needs to be worrying about in this race, as Bucke there makes a mistake and goes wide, and that has allowed the Class B car, the FN2 of Julian Griffith to go through, of James Griffith to go through I should say. There's the battle for 7th, 8th and 9th positions. Also involved is the 53 car, which is that of Will Shriver. He's in the silver car. And then rounding out the top 10 at the moment is the number 21, which is Daniel Webster. So we go on board with Laidlaw here. Down they go through the old hairpin once again. Past Starkey's Bridge, then up towards the left-hander at Schwantz Curve, then on to the right-hander at McLean's. It's Gorgler, number 14, that's ahead of us. Round McLean's they go. Gorgler hasn't done all of the rounds of the championship this season, but we did see him out again last time at Snetterton. Onto the exhibition straight they go. Webster there you could see riding the curb, and then just behind him we have the 55 car, which is Chris Coomer, who's actually the first of the Class A cars in this race. Now, problems there, yellow flags are out. There's a driver that has pulled up down the exhibition straight, just up against the exhibition centre in actual fact. Just trying to see who that might be. I think it's is that the 18 car of Sam Hathaway possibly, that has gone into retirement? Difficult to tell from that shot. Oh, and someone's made a mistake. That was Daniel Webster, wasn't it? Trying to recover there. Here's this battle within Class A, the 1.6 litre class, and Mark Anderson, number 12, looks to have got himself embroiled in that now. Mark was very much one of the Class A championship contenders early on in the season, but disaster at Snetterton in the first lap of the race put paid to that. 14 rounds in the championship. Drivers are able to count their best 13 scores, so they have one drop score at the end of the year. There, though, is the 55 car of Chris Coomer, who was a winner last time out at Snetterton. Again, not one of the main championship contenders in the Class A for this season at least. Maybe next year will be Chris's year. So there's Mark Higginson ahead of Andrew Gorgler. 6th and 7th places respectively. Stu Neal now a little bit further back down the order because he's dropped behind the 53 car of Will Shriver now. And off that is, I think, the car of John Peerless, was it? Number 46 that has gone off into the gravel trap there at the old hairpin. I think it may have been. So that is not what we wanted, because that will mean there's now yellow flags at that part of the circuit. And look at this, Chris Coomer in that 1.6 litre number 55 car is homing in now on the 21 car of Daniel Webster, who at the moment is running in the last place inside of the top 10. Down the exhibition straight, towards the left-right at Fogarty's, then down to the Melbourne hairpin they go. Right-hand indicator going on there for James Griffin. Higginson, smoke pouring out of his car as he has a big lock-up, I think. That sent Andrew Gorgler very wide in avoidance. Probably lost him a bit of ground there, and Will Shriver able to close in on him. Back on board we go with Stu Neal towards the Goddard hairpin. We're on the full 2.5 mile Grand Prix circuit here at Donington Park this weekend. Up and over the line he comes to complete another lap, running now in 9th position behind Will Shriver. Here are the two leaders, so it's Carl Swift still in the lead of the race from Adam Shepherd in 2nd position, but now Adam Shepherd is going for the lead. Down the inside he goes into the old hairpin and he's through. Now Adam Shepherd has gone through, but if I remember rightly, there was a car from the gravel trap there a few moments ago, and that will mean that that corner was being covered by yellow flags. So that's interesting, to say the very least. Adam Shepherd there has taken the lead, but it may well have been under yellow flags. We'll see what the officials have to say about that one after the race. There, though, is the number 3 car, which is Luca Diella, making his way through. Yes, now you can see there the yellow flags on the exit of Hollywood, so that confirms that there would have been yellow flags out at the old hairpin. I think possibly Adam Shepherd there capitalised when Carl Swift was backing off, as he should have done, for those yellow flags. The race for the moment goes on, though. So you just see going through shot there Steve Laidlaw and Roderick Vella. They're having still a big fight there. Then you've got Mark Higginson, Andrew Gorgler, who's coming now under pressure from Will Shriver as well. Will not racing for points, as we say, this weekend, so we kind of need to disregard what's happening with him. As the rest of the field making their way down to Fogarty S's. Here's this battle, though. It's going on between number 2 Steve Laidlaw and number 89 Roderick Vella. Now Roderick had a win at Anglesey earlier on in the season as well. and he's looking to certainly get into podium contention here in this penultimate round of the championship. And Shriver now ahead of Gorgler. Gorgler trying to fight back into Goddard Hairpin, but I don't think he's going to make that work. So Swift it is that now is in the lead of the race as they start to lap the back markers. Shepherd it is that is in the lead of the race. Shepherd from Swift now, having had that moment a lap or so ago when Shepherd went through at the old hairpin. Swift probably won't be too happy about that, I shouldn't think. But nevertheless, I'm sure he'll try and get back ahead of his rival, who's in his first season of racing. Both of them in their first season of racing in the Civic Cup, but it's the first season of cars for Adam Shepherd. Carl Swift had previously raced in the Stock Cats Championship and has an autograss background as well. Through Coppice onto the exhibition straight once again, into the final couple of laps of this race. You can see, I think that's the Ollie Withington car now. It looks like he might have been struggling during the course of this race. But behind him you've got David Buki. Now he was challenging Mark Anderson, so it looked to me as if he had fallen back a little bit further, actually within that Class A battle. Notice that Tim Evans has also dropped down the order a little bit. So here is the 21 car of Daniel Webster in 10th position, making his way up to the Goddard hairpin. The driver from Chorley in Lancashire. The leaders on to their final lap of the race now, though, and there's still only about 2 car lengths between Adam Shepherd and Carl Swift. As we look further back, that's the battle between number 5, which is Mark Hughes. Number 69 is Mark Grice, another of the guest drivers this weekend, and the 31 car going through, that's Anthony Turner. He's been a stalwart in Class A this season for the 1.6 litre cars. Here, though, are the 2 leaders making their way into the chicane for the final time, the Fox Yeses, I should say. Can Carl Swift mount a last corner attack? We've lost Endaf Owens. His car has parked up on the way up to the Goddard hairpin, so he was running in 3rd position, and he was one of the championship contenders as well. So Endaf Owens, there you can see his car. Well, he's out of the championship hunt now, which really means it's going to be between these 2 for the championship title going into the final round. It looks like it's going to be Adam Shepherd that's going to come through to take the checkered flag then. And he does it, and he wins again. And that is a 3rd win of the season for Adam Shepherd in the Tagiwa Civic Cup. And who's going to be 3rd here? It's Steve Laidlaw with Rodron Vella coming up on the inside of him. He dives down the inside and he goes through. So Rodron Vella goes through on the inside line into Goddard to take 3rd place away from Steve Laidlaw right at the end of the race. Rest of the field going through, you've got Mark Higginson in 5th, Will Shriver in 6th place, but it was Adam Shepherd that took the checkered flag in the penultimate round of the championship.
Adam Shepherd there, winner of the Civic Cup race. Great scrap you had there with Carl.
Yeah, it was good. Carl was faster to start with. He pulled a gap, so I just thought keep with him in case he makes a mistake, keep pressurising, and he made a mistake into the hairpin, which put me right on him. And I got the run on him coming through Cranus and put it up the inside and held it from there.
Yeah, and once of course you got past, you defended very well. He didn't really have a chance of getting back past.
Yeah, I knew where Carl was fast. Through the right hand onto the back straight, I thought if I back him up, once I'm in front, I could slide him up through the hairpins, and it went quite well.
And of course, come here this weekend with a shot at the championship, very close between you and Carl yourself.
Yeah, it is close. Race 2 yet, so I can't say, but yeah, it's a good race.
Carl Swift, 2nd place there in that race here at Donington Park. How was it from your point of view?
Yeah, it was a good race. There's a bit of an incident whether I was passed under yellows or not, which they're apparently investigating, so we'll see how that goes. But the pace was good, just didn't defend into old hairpins. I saw the wave yellows and got past.
And of course, you've got to be cautious this weekend because the championship is between you and Adam.
Absolutely. Endaf's out. I saw him parked up on the in lap, so it's down to us 2. If that stands, then it's a very difficult position I'm in. If it doesn't, it's very close.
And of course, we raced here early in the season on the national circuit. Grand Prix circuit, any difference?
Just 2 rubbish corners you've got to deal with to get on the good track.
A reverse grid for race 2 as always. That's going to be entertaining.
It is, yeah. Coming through those 10 cars in front, that's going to make it very, very interesting.
All the best for the final race.
Thank you.
Rodron Vella coming home in 3rd place. Of course, another visit to the podium here at Donington Park. How was that race for you?
Yeah, it was a good race. I kept my pace well, put my head in there, and then I saw like end of retire. So I'm like, here's my chance for another podium. I was following Steve pretty close, and he was defending really hard. Then like a last lunge on the last corner, like took third. So yeah, got a bit squeezed, but yeah, we'll see how it turns out.
Here are the results, and in Class A it was Chris Coomer that took the win, but Andrew Huff was the first of the championship contenders home. David Buki was 4th and Tim Evans 6th. In Class B, penalties were handed out, so Adam Shepherd docked 10 seconds for overtaking under yellow flags, so it was Carl Swift in the end that took the win from Adam, with Steve Laidlaw promoted onto the podium when Rodron Vella was penalised 5 seconds for avoidable contact. As ever, it's a partially reversed grid for race 2, so it's Chris Coomer and Daniel Webster on the front row, Andrew Gorgler and Stu Neal on row 2, Will Shriver and Mark Higginson on row 3. All of the championship contenders are further back. The lights go out and away we go for the final time this season in the Tagiwa Civic Cup. It's Adam Shepherd leading Carl Swift by 3 points in Class B. Tim Evans leads David Buki by 1 point and Andrew Huff by 4 going into the final round of the championship, so still very much to play for. 5 drivers in with a chance of taking the 2 titles that are available for us. So down they go through the Craner curves for the first time. It's Andrew Gorgler that's made a good start from the second row of the grid. There'll be lots of shuffling of the positions as we go through the first few corners with the quick drivers coming to the fore. And look at that, Adam Shepherd already up to 4th place from 9th on the grid. He's made a very good start to the race indeed, and this championship could be decided effectively by which driver out of Adam Shepherd and Carl Swift cuts the most effective swathe through the traffic in the opening lap or so. And with Shepherd now up to 3rd, it could well be him, but saying that, it's Carl Swift already, I think, into 5th place as well, so not too much to choose between them. And there you can see some of the Class A contenders. David Buki in his 51 car, the white, orange and blue car, was just going through shot. Now he has some work to do as well, because he is 3 points ahead of Huff, 1 point behind Evans going into this final round of the championship. So now Adam Shepherd up to 2nd place at the Fogarty S's. He's chasing after Andrew Gorgler. He might even be in the lead of the race by the end of the lap from row 5 of the grid, which would be absolutely what he needed from the point of view of the championship, because he has the advantage over Carl Swift, but it's only a slender 3-point advantage. It's not quite a winner-takes-all affair, but it's not far off it. Through the Melbourne hairpin, up towards Goddard then, and there we can see the car of Mark Higginson, number 44. He's under a bit of pressure from 4 Stu Neal. He's trying to have a look up the inside. That's the battle for 5th and 6th positions then, but they're alongside over the line, and I think that just about Adam Shepherd has got in front, and he has now. Number 17, Adam Shepherd, takes the lead of the race at the start of lap 2, certainly from number 14, Andrew Gorgler. The 21 car of Daniel Webster is 3rd, but Carl Swift, who's pushing on there, you can see, in 4th place, car number 45. So it's 1st for Adam Shepherd, it's 4th for Carl Swift, and Swift is the one that really needs to finish ahead. So work to be done then for Carl Swift. He did, as he would see it, get justice after race 1 with that penalty for Adam Shepherd, dropping him back to 2nd place. Makes Adam's job in this race just that little bit harder, but he's still got the advantage over Carl Swift going into this final round. Swift needs to clear these 2nd and 3rd place cars quickly. Well, Daniel Webster was elbowed out of the way quite effectively there. Oh, now there's a car in the gravel trap, and that is... it's the car of Chris Coomer, I think, isn't it? Yes, it is. It's 55, the man that won race 1 as far as Class A was concerned. Also started on pole position for this race, but he's off into the gravel trap now, and again that's going to mean yellow flags at McLean's corner. Rodron Vella, you can see, he was also penalised in race 1 for avoidable contact. That dropped him from 3rd on the road down to 4th position behind Steve Laidlaw. There's the 12 car of Mark Anderson then, 14th position overall at the beginning of this lap. He's ahead of David Buki, but just trying to see who's the first of the Class A cars in the race. Steve Laidlaw then, I think he is running in 7th place at the moment, just ahead of the number 20 car, which is that of Endaf Owens. Endaf Owens, actually, that's a great effort, isn't it? He's up to 8th. He had to start this race from way back on row 14 of the grid after his non-finish in race 1. His championship hopes are effectively over, but he's still really pushing on there, the 2011 Mini Miglia champion. Now, here we have Carl Swift trying to find a way past number 14, Andrew Gorgler, and he's having a look up the inside. Locking up there was Gorgler, and it looks like Swift has gone through, but again, well, there's a yellow car involved, but also I wonder if there was a yellow flag involved as well there, because we've got the Chris Coomer car off into the McLaren's gravel trap. That was only on the previous lap, so I wouldn't be surprised if there was a yellow flag there. So another question mark over that manoeuvre as well, I'm afraid. But it's Adam Shepherd now in a clear lead. You can't blame Carl Swift for being determined in trying to get past Andrew Gorgler in that circumstance, that's for sure, because he's now got a good couple of seconds to try and make up. And there you can see the Class A lead, that's the turquoise car, and that is Andrew Huff. Now he is the man that is 4 points behind the leader Tim Evans coming into this final round of the championship. But who knows, he could overturn that and win it in this final round. Gorgler and Webster there disputing 3rd position then as they come through to end lap number 3, and it looks like it's the blue car that's going to prevail just. That's Daniel Webster just ahead of number 14, Gorgler, the driver from West Wellow. Over the line they go to start another lap. It's Higginson in 5th place. In 6th place it's the 4 car of Stu Neal. 7th is number 2 Steve Laidlaw. 8th is the 89 car of Rodrin Vella. It's going to be an 8-lap race this around the Donington Park Grand Prix circuit. Here's this fight going on still for 3rd and 4th position. Meanwhile, Carl Swift I should say, chasing after Adam Shepherd. That's for the lead of the race. This is for 3rd and 4th places though, with I think Mark Higginson wanting to join in as well. There goes Swift, you could just see him going through. But here is this battle for 3rd place, and Webster's there, or through that yellow flag zone again. You can see the Kuma car being snatched out of the way. I think it was a bit of a mistake there from Webster. He's going to pay for that at Coppice Corner, with the Gorgler car trying to go through on the inside there. Now here's the situation in Class A. It is Huff that's leading from Buki, and Tim Evans, well, he's not in sight actually, he's a bit further back. We've got green flags waving on the exit of the Melbourne hairpin now, so there may well be a car that's gone off. So really now I think it's between these two for the championship, because as I say, Tim Evans a bit further back down the order. I'm not sure that he's going to pick up enough points to get ahead of these two cars unless something goes drastically wrong for them. So Tim Evans in the 23 car, yes, he's running down in 19th position overall. And the two cars that we were looking at there, they were running in just outside the top 10 actually at the moment. 11th and 12th positions by my reckoning. There we see the Rodrin Vella number 89 car just up ahead of them actually, towards the bottom end of the top 10. And there, Endaf Owens is with Andrew Gorgler now, so he's made up more ground, hasn't he? He's up into 5th position, so Endaf Owens, great drive from him, really determined from the back of the grid. Onto the exhibition straight once again, down to the Fogarty S's. Now Endaf Owens, it wouldn't surprise me if he made a move going into this left and right-hander. No, he's not quite close enough to do it to Andrew Gorgler, but he gets a very good run out of the chicane and he's going to pull alongside now as they go down towards the Melbourne hairpin. This for 4th place. It's letting Daniel Webster escape really in 3rd position, but he's gone through on the inside. Owens has done it, the Welshman up to 4th position now. Fantastic drama here in the final round of the Tagiwa Civic Cup. Meanwhile, it's side by side a little bit further back as well. I think Will Shriver it is that's making up some ground and doing battle there with the 4 car of Stu Neal. It's just ahead of Rodrin Vella as well as they come through to end the lap. Here they come up towards us as we look back. There is the Andrew Huff car. He's just ahead now of Ollie Withington number 39, David Buki, has lost another position on track, but lost a position within Class A at the moment. So at the moment here, I think it's looking good for Andrew Huff. As far as the championship is concerned, they look like they are going to finish first and second within the class, but that will put them level on points in the final analysis, and it will go down to the driver that's had the most wins in the season, and that will be Andrew Huff, because he's had 2 before today. This would be his third, and there's been no victories so far this season for David Buki, but he's been extremely consistent. He's had a number of podiums, I think 7 podiums in the championship so far this year. Battles still to be resolved in the bottom end of the top 10 overall as well. We're looking at Rodron Vella there, just behind the number 4 car of Stu Neal on this, the 7th lap of the race now. This is for 8th and 9th positions. And next up you have the number 2 car as well, which is Steve Laidlaw. You can see he's just 50 yards or so behind them. Will Shriver it is now that's ahead of them in 7th place in the grey car, just behind Mark Higginson. They turn their way through the Fogarty S's once again and down towards the Melbourne hairpin for the penultimate time now in this race. We are coming towards the end of it. So we still have Adam Shepherd in the lead of the race overall, so it looks like he's going to win on track for the second time today, ahead of Carl Swift. The victory in race 1 was overturned. Don't think there's any reason why it should be in race 2. There's a black and white driving standards flag there going out to number 21 Daniel Webster. More importantly though, we've got the last lap board as Will Shriver now challenging for Mark Higginson's 6th position here as they make their way through and onto the end of the lap. They will see the last lap board as well, so it's pretty frenetic stuff. Meanwhile in Class A, I can tell you it's still Andrew Huff ahead of David Buki, and if it stays that way it's going to be Huff's championship. Higginson there holding off from number 53 Will Shriver as they go on to this final lap of the race, down through the Craner curves towards the old hairpin for the final time. Higginson actually has an eye on getting ahead of Daniel Webster as well, doesn't he, for what would be 4th position. Higginson there just running over the curb on the exit of the old hairpin, which is the quickest racing line actually. There goes Endaf Owens in 3rd place now. Andrew Gorgler is down to 4th, and 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th basically all together here. So Owens had made up another position, but there goes Mark Higginson through on the inside of Daniel Webster for 4th place, and he's done it. He goes through, so Mark Higginson goes through there. So he goes up into 4th position, and Daniel Webster now losing a couple more places as well, because it looks like others have followed him through. Certainly number 53 Will Shriver has, and it looks like Rodron Vella trying to follow through as well. Webster trying to defend as they go through the Fogarty S's. They're side by side and he's just about hung on, but I think Vella's going to carry more speed down to the Melbourne hairpin for the final time. Can Shriver get ahead of Higginson as well into the final couple of corners as the checkered flag goes out and Adam Shepherd wins the championship? We've got Rodron Vella going spinning off after a little bit of contact there, I think, so he's going to drop right down the order, and I think he'll just about stay within the top 10. More importantly though, we have the championship having been won by Adam Shepherd, and there is Andrew Huff. He is going to go through to take the Class A championship as well. So Adam Shepherd makes his way in victorious, but let's first look at the Class A results, and the victory there went to Andrew Huff from David Buki. They finished level on points. Mark Anderson was 3rd, Tim Evans back in 4th as far as Class A was concerned. Not good enough for him. In Class B, Adam Shepherd took the overall win by 2.67 seconds from Carl Swift, but what a drive. Endaf Owens made up 25 places to go 3rd, Andrew Gorgler 4th, Mark Higginson 5th and Stu Neal 6th. The championship standings in Class A, Andrew Huff and David Buki virtually inseparable. In Class B, it was Adam Shepherd that took the title in the end by 6 points from Carl Swift, despite the fact that Carl Swift had 4 wins to Adam's 3. Let's go down and hear from the top 3 with Matt Suckling.
Our final winner of the year then in the Tagiwa Civic Cup is Adam Shepherd, and Adam, many congratulations, champion as well. Well done.
Yeah, brilliant, unbelievable. So pleased. To come out in the first year as a novice and take the championship is unbelievable. So thanks. If it weren't for all the team and everyone here, we wouldn't be here. But it's brilliant.
And it's all about the start of the race, of course. Working your way through the traffic, get yourself out in front and just pull away.
Yeah, me and Carl and Endaf were miles faster than the rest of the grid for this weekend, and we knew whoever got the lead out front was probably going to take the championship. And I had a brilliant start, kept my head, picked the points, and come off well.
And of course, this season has been a great one for you, as you said, novice, starting back here in March and just worked your way through and got those wins. Yeah,
we turned up in March as a novice and just picked away with Dad kind of telling me where I'm going wrong, and we got faster and faster, and we got the result we wanted. So.
Carl Swift coming home in second place in that race. You were trying for the championship, but wasn't quite enough.
Yeah, the reverse grid. Me and Adam said that the first person to come through the traffic were going to win because there'd be a gap, and he managed to get there while I was still back in fourth, I think. So I lost probably 10, 20 car lengths on him by the time I got through. Tried my damn hardest, but I just couldn't pull anywhere near close enough to have a dive.
Still, that's been a fairly good season for you. You've had some great wins and, of course, some great races.
Yeah, fantastic season to be out, winning it for the majority of it, and by a clear lead as well. And then the two non-results at the last round have made it near impossible. But to get second after that, I'm happy.
Endaf Owens coming home in third place and from the back of the grid. What a drive from you!
Yeah, I enjoyed that one. I had no pressure. We had a DNF with a gearbox in the first race, so out of the championship, and just thought I'd see how far I can get up. Yeah, good.
Andrew Huff, winner of the class there in the Tiguwa Civic Cup. Great race from you. How did you find it?
Fantastic. I mean, start of the season I had 2 DNFs here, so to come with a first and a second, I'm just over the moon. Yeah, it's really good.
David coming home in a great podium position in class. How was the race for you?
Yeah, it was really good. I knew at the start of the race that I needed Coombs to win it, and then if Andy finished second and I finished third, I would have won the title. But fortunately, I saw Coombs coming off down at the old hairpin, span out. Andy was probably, shouting for joy, and I was thinking, oh no. But no, it's been great. Fantastic season, and big congratulations to Andy Huff, and I'm really pleased for my first year to have come second.
Adam Shepherd and Andrew Huff are 2015 title winners in the Tiguwa Civic Cup. You know what? 2016 is going to be even better. Join us then. For now, from all of us here, it's bye-bye.